Stephen Curry is a two-time MVP and probably the best shooter of all time. But there was a time where he couldn't even be on the court because he kept injuring his ankles. So, how did he stop injuring his ankles? Curry has tweaked his ankles 17 times, 17 times, and has missed countless games. His ankles were and are still noodles, but ever since 2013, he's been relatively healthy. How did he just stop his noodle ankles from getting injured? I think Curry is the greatest shooter of all. Curry has always had hard pad. When it came to basketball, in high school he was small and had to relearn how to shot. No college offered him a spot except Davidson, and coming into the NBA, people doubt his potential because of his size. And then for the first 4 years career, Curry has plagued with ankle problems. I think LeBron have a problem with Stephen Curry, but I think Curry's ankles were turning in crazy ways that no one could expect, like this one against the Spurs. People thought it was his size, that he weak ankles, and everyone thought that he would pretty have injury problems. That's when everything changed. In the summer of 2013, a man by the name Keke Lyle joined the Warriors training staff. Lyles is an expert in injury prevention and decided to tell Curry worked on hip strength and not his ankles. Crazy, right? He had Curry to do the single leg airplane pose and Curry, like the most people, couldn't keep balance. It was tests that showed Curry hip strength was normal but not strong. Just like everything up to this point, Curry had to work everything. He strengthened his clips, glutes, and core so that he could handle the jerky moves of an NBA game. He worked on all his summer and has kept working on his core, not his ankles. I would say it's 10 times stronger. Now can definitely that barely 200 pounds and now 400 pounds, which is the more than anyone else on the world. That's a result of his hard work. After making himself stronger, Curry then subjected himself to quick movements with contact to test out how he can use his stronger body. After all this, he was ready. This year, Curry didn't deal with ankle injuries and played 7-8 games in the season. It was until 2016 in the playoffs when Curry injured his ankle. Thank you, Keke Lyles, because without you, we might have missed out of the amazingness of Steve Curry. Thank you a lot of your work. I was working in this project all the weekend, I think. Okay, this is a goodbye, teacher, and all my friends. Bye. Stephen Curry is a two-time MVP and probably the best shooter of all time. But there was a time where he couldn't even be on the court because he kept injuring his ankles. So, how did he stop injuring his ankles? Curry has tweaked his ankle 17 times, 17 times, and has missed countless games. His ankles were and are still noodles, but ever since 2013, he's been relatively healthy. How did he just stop his noodle ankles from getting injured? Make your guess in the comments and let me know if you think Curry is the greatest shooter of all time. Steve Curry has always had a hard path when it came to school. In high school, he was small and had to relearn how to shoot. No college offered him a spot except Davidson and coming into the NBA. People doubted his potential because of his size, and then for the first 4 years of his career, Curry has plagued with ankle problems. But there's no problem with LeBron James and the other players, but Curry ankles were turning crazy. Expect like this one against Spurs. People thought it was high that he had weak ankles, and everyone thought that he would pretty much have an injury from NBA career. That's when everything changed.